Hi there, I am your coach, Janelle Ross, and I'm here to help you with mobility, flexibility, and strength so that you can progress forward in anything that is important for you, whether it's a run, a marathon, working out, playing with your kids, whatever it is, this is going to help you. Our classes together are going to help you progress right now and going forward for long term. So this class, I would say, is one of those oldie goodies because we can keep coming back to it and progress. So you're going to need your yoga mat and 2 blocks. We are focusing on ankle mobility and strength, and you're going to get a little bit of hips and maybe some shoulders, but it's primarily just for the ankles. Okay, so we're going to start with the blocks. So come into a kneeling position just to situate the blocks, and you want them mid-level shoulder distance. So you're going to test this right away, and if it's challenging for you, I just want you to take it in and just go with it, because this is to help you progress in your ankle mobility, which goes all the way up to the knee, the hip, the back, the shoulder, everything. So it all starts with the feet. So you're going to come into this squat position, trying to get your heels down, and you're going to use the blocks and try to have your feet and knees hip distance apart. Okay, so you're going to lower the heels, hold on to the blocks, and do the best you can to get on those heels, and then shift forward and lower the knees down. Okay, so we're really working on that mobility of the ankle. And shift back. And I know you might be falling back, and that's okay. We're working on this. We're working toward more ankle mobility. And shift forward, lower the knees down. And feel those toes spreading. One more time. Shift back, lower the heels down, or try to get them there, and just honor where they are, because this is definitely not easy, okay? And shift forward, lower the knees down. All right. From this position, you're going to shift back and then walk your fingers back and lower the knees and lift the knees. So you're working the toes. You can also use the blocks. I feel like it's easier to use the fingers because the blocks kind of get in the way. So lower the knees, lift the knees. Lower and lift. So you're really working those toes at an end range. And one more, lower and lift. Okay, now bring your fingers forward, lower the knees, and release the toes. So point the toes, make sure your pinky toe is going all the way back, and sit on your heels. So now you're in a plantar flexion position. And this stretches not only the toes, but the ankle joint itself. And your weight bearing, just make sure all 5 toes are on the mat. Weight bearing to really get into the ankle joint. Sitting up tall, and just pretend you're enjoying this. If you're not, because we're going to keep progressing. And just like I said, really honor where you are, because the more you work on this, it's going to change your whole biomechanics and possibly how you feel and everything going off the mat. Okay, now slowly release. You're going to shift forward, curl the toes, and sit on the heels. So if you've ever had plantar fasciitis, you know how painful that can be. So this stretches the sole of the foot. It also really gets into the toes, and check. Make sure that pinky toe is not going in the opposite direction. And if it's challenging to be in this because you are weight bearing, that is the important point of this, I just want you to stay with your breath, because the more you allow yourself to be in an uncomfortable position, not only on your mat, in other areas of your life, you're going to be able to sustain it and work through it, okay? And I have to say, when I did trainings a long time ago, we had to sit in like this position, and I could barely do it, and I was just like astounded. So I know I'm talking to keep you in it, but breathe into that stretch. All right, now you can move the blocks off the mat and come into your hands and just roll out those ankles, and just feel so happy that you're out of that position, and just let them roll in any direction. So remember, I've mentioned before, joints love circles, so just roll it out. Okay, now let's continue on. So bringing your hips up and back into downward facing dog, lift the heels and really look at your toes and lower the heels. Lift the heels, lower the heels. Lift the heels, lower the heels. And now lift the heels, bend the knees, and pivot your heels and make sure there's space. So move your feet so that both heels can come down over to the right. You're getting a lat stretch on the left. Stay with your breath. And then lift the heels, bend the knees, and lower your heels over toward the left. Now a lat stretch on the right, and you're really getting into the ankle joint on the left. Okay, now lift the heels. We're going to test this. So your heels are lifted, and now you're going to take your right foot and plantar flex it and push your chest so your toenails are on the mat into that plantar flexion. Push your chest toward your thighs and just explore how that feels. And then let's do it again over to the other side. So now plantar flex the left foot, push through the heel, push through the palm, push your chest toward your thigh and get into those toes on the left. All right, and then release and walk forward. And let your head go and circle all the way up. Look up and squeeze the glutes and lower down and release. And now come down onto your knees. So we're going to start from a kneeling position, and you're not going to necessarily need blocks, but if you want to use your block, you can. But I want you to work on more being weight bearing in this position. Okay, so step the left foot forward, and you want the knee passing the toe, and you're going to plantar flex the back foot. So just hold this position. So I have my left palm down, sinking into the position, squeezing that left glute. Okay, now stay here, keep plantar flexing the back foot, and lift the knee and just squeeze and hold. So you're getting into both ankles, so you're getting a nice stretch on the front ankle, the Achilles, and you're really working that plantar flexion on the back foot. And remember, this moment is only temporary. And then release and switch sides. Okay, so slide the foot back and then sink and go. You can play with the end range, but I do want you to go maybe a little bit deeper so you really start to feel what the possibilities are. And so you're starting to open up. You're going into new realms for your body. Okay, so sitting up tall. And now pressing, lifting your chest. Back foot is plantar flexed, and now just lift the knee and just notice how different the pose is once you lift the knee, how much harder it can be. Stay with your breath, engaging both legs. You're also getting a really nice deep quad and hip stretch on the on the right. Stay with your breath, breathe into that front Achilles, that front heel. Letting the knee pass the toes, and then slowly lowering down. And now bringing the knee down, and just place your forearms down. Let your head go. We're just going to take a moment to get into the shoulder. So push the elbows out, and then lift the knees, and push your head and chest toward your thighs. Getting into the upper back and shoulders, little pulses. And lower down, and then come right into downward facing dog. Okay, walk your feet toward the middle of the mat, and then you're going to turn toward the side and hop the legs out. Okay, we're going to play with Skandasana. So start to lower down, bend the left knee. Start with the heel off the floor, off the mat. And if you already have it down, awesome, but we're going to keep going from side to side. Okay, so the first thing, you're gonna stay in this position and reach the right arm up and make sure the toes are facing up. So that's dorsiflexion, reach up and push. You can use that left elbow to help push the knee out. And now, see if you can control as you shift back, lower the heel down, pivot the knee down, lift it back up, shift forward, and try and hold this position without your chest dropping. So lift your chest, work your back muscles. Everything always works together. Now let's try the other side. So lift the heel, glide over, straighten the left leg, and notice how it initially feels. The initial part always, my heel is lifted, maybe your heel is lifted, or maybe it's down, and reach the arm up. You can use the elbow to help push the knee out, so you're getting a nice pec stretch as well. Slowly lower the palm down, and sit back, and lower down, and work on that control. Pivot the knee down, and it's better if the leg lines up with the side of the mat. Pivot the knee down, and then use the side glute, pivot back up, sink into that heel, feel the weight with your torso. Can you keep your chest lifted? Free arms, you can totally put your palms down. And now slowly lift up and out, straddle the legs. So we're gonna play with this, with the ankle and the hip. Okay, so now the palms are underneath the shoulders and you're slightly internally rotated. So your big toes are facing each other. From here, lift the toe, the left toe, and pivot the foot out and lower down. And then lift the toes, pivot the foot in. Lift the right toes and pivot out. Lift the right toes and pivot in. And here's where you wanna it kind of gets wider, the stance, so maybe shortened a little bit. And it's different for everybody because you are pivoting. Okay, we're gonna do that again. We'll do 2 for 2. So lift the left toes and pivot out, lower down. Lift the left toes, pivot in. Lift the right toes, pivot out, lower down, lift, pivot back in. Okay. Now, I recommend shortening the stance just a little bit more. Okay, so now we're gonna start with external rotation. So you're gonna bend the left knee and turn the foot out. Right leg is still straight. Now lift the toes and straighten the leg as you pivot the foot in. Okay, and now bend the right knee, turn the foot out. Lift the toes and straighten as you turn in. One more each. So pivot the left foot out, bend the knee. Lift the toes and pivot in. And now turn the right foot out, bend the knee. And then lift the toes and pivot in. And then just slowly fold and let your head go. You can reach your arms through your legs. You can bend a little bit, get into those hips. And feel free to do anything that feels like your body's asking for it. And if it's Savasana, don't worry, you can do that another time. Okay, come down onto your knees and curl your toes. And we're gonna try and go into Malasana to stand. So bring your knees a little bit wider and just take your time to shift back. And you can even wiggle your feet wider apart. Okay, so triceps on the knees and lift your chest. And just let your body sink into this position, but keep your chest wide, reaching the arms out. I want you to just think, all you're gonna do is go up and just play with it. See what's available and don't worry if you fall. This is just what you're working on right now. And have fun with it. Okay, ready? And stand all the way up. And then bend and lower down. 2 more and stand all the way up. Squeeze those glutes when you stand and lower all the way down. Last one, stand and lower down. Okay, now lower the knees down. Curl the toes, sit on your heels, and just see how that feels. See if you're noticing any differences or what differences. I mean, this is a lot of work, so you should be feeling a lot of information from your ankles and your feet. Okay, and then from here, plantar flex and sit on the heels. Keep weight bearing so your torso is vertical. And now we're gonna just come up for a moment. You can come up any way you'd like and just walk around. And I want you to use your toes, use all of your foot to walk around and just see how your feet feel. Notice if there's any differences from all that ankle work you did. Okay, now come to sit in Dandasana. This is the last pose. Sitting up tall, dorsiflex the feet. And pretend your feet are pressing into a wall. You can even actually do that, which is great. And then point the toes and really feel that stretch on the top of the joint all the way to the toes. You're trying to reach your toes forward and down, and if I ever try this too strong, I always get a cramp. So that means I need more work. Okay, one more, dorsiflex, and then plantar flex. Okay, and release, bring your legs a little bit wider and just circle. I've mentioned this before so many times, the joints love circles, so just circling around and reversing the circle. Keep sitting up tall and then wiggle the legs in and out completely. Okay, so there you have it. We worked on primarily the ankles and the feet, the toes, got a little bit into the hips and the shoulders. So I really want you to explore how this went for you, because when our body is not moving appropriately, and especially when we're in structured footwear, it really takes away our foot and ankle mobility. I can't stress this enough. The stronger and harder the shoe, the footwear, the less it's like a cast for your foot, and it limits everything from your ankle, knee, hip, back, shoulder, neck, everything. It affects everything. So comment below if you noticed any aha moments and what you were surprised you could do, or what you hated, or what you enjoyed. Anything that you found useful and productive, I would love to know how it helped you, because this is so important for our foundation of health. And remember, I am your coach to help you with your mobility, flexibility, and strength, so that you can progress in any area of your life, whether it's your fitness, your health, playing with your kids, preparing for a marathon, whatever's important to you. This is your accountability moment, and this is just to help you just get a little bit better on your journey in life. Please comment below. You can like it, share it, and I will see you next time. Ciao.